Hello Freedom High School, welcome back to another weekly broadcast. I'm Hayden.
And I'm Nathan. Today is a historic day. The solar eclipse will be making its way towards our area. While the last solar eclipse was in 2017, this year will be more dramatic. It is so rare that the next one will occur in 2044. Let's go to Mr. Hatch with some more information.
Hey Freedom, this is Mr. Hatch. I teach Earth and Space here at Freedom. Just going to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up Monday, which is a total solar eclipse. Solar eclipse happens when the moon moves in between the Earth and the sun and actually casts a shadow upon the Earth. What's unique about this one, which makes it special, is that it's going to hit, I think it's something like 15 of the states are going to be in the path of totality, or the path where the total solar eclipse is going to occur. The one thing that we all need to remember is that we are not in that path, so we are not going to be able to view it safely with your unaided eye. So do not look at the sun during the eclipse. You can damage your eyes. You need to have special solar glasses for that from a reputable dealer, or you need to make a pinhole viewer, which there are directions for that online. So again, very important that you do not look at the solar eclipse. You can damage your eyes because of that. Right, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Hatch. Nate, make sure you don't look directly at the sun when you leave school today.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. This week, the Forum is going behind the scenes for the upcoming 42nd Street musical, interviewing the juniors organizing this year's prom, and asking students about their March Madness final predictions. Let's get straight into our important news first, though.
This information is urgent for all seniors. The community service deadline is this Friday, April 12th. You must have submitted at least 60 hours by the end of this week, or you'll not be able to graduate. Be sure to see Mrs. Medina in room 114B if you have any questions about acquiring community service hours.
This is a reminder for all seniors who expressed interest in speaking during graduation. All speeches are due to Miss Sage in the main office by this Thursday, April 11th. Trials for both faculty and student-chosen speakers will take place on Monday, April 15th after school, and Friday, April 19th during second block respective.
Seniors, don't forget to fill out the form to be part of the Freedom Forum Senior Issue. Scan the QR code on the screen. We will include a picture of your choice, a short bio, and more about you. Check your emails for more information and an in-depth look at last year's edition.
The ASL students would like to share what they've been learning throughout this semester. Please take time to look at any hands you find posted around the school. Once you find them, scan the QR codes on the hands and learn some sign language.
Now, let's bring it over to Gigi and Owen to learn more about this week's lunch menu.
Welcome to West Kiki.
I am Owen Miller.
Awesome.
What is your name?
My name is Charlotte.
Are you great?
I'm in 9th grade.
What did you watch this week?
Today I had a sandwich and strawberries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's that for us this week?
Thanks, Gigi and Owen. The menu sounds great. Let's move on to Amy and Connor for behind-the-scenes footage and interviews about Freedom's spring show, 42nd Street.
This weekend, April 12th through the 14th, is Freedom's production of 42nd Street.
Amy and I are both a part of the production, but we wanted to interview some cast and crew members about their thoughts of the show.
Let's go see what we found out.
All right, Julia, what's your character?
I play Peggy Sawyer.
And could you give us a little explanation about your character?
So Peggy Sawyer is a young girl who just wants to get into the line of a Julian Mars show, and unfortunately she comes late to our audition, and so it kind of starts off rough for her, but in the end she finally gets to prove herself and is just a hopeful young girl who wants to be a Broadway actress.
All right, and do you have any, do you have like a favorite part in the show?
My favorite part is going to your dance. That's kind of like the turning point of Peggy's career, because she meets these super sweet girls and they're like, well, I bet you can't tap dance, but Peggy Sawyer's like, no, I can tap dance. And so they do a whole number and they tap dance together, and then at the end of it, Julian Mars, she sees that she can tap dance, and then she makes it into the show.
Yeah, I can vouch for it. It's a really cool number. So why do you think that people should come and see our show?
Because I think it's very different than all the other shows that we've seen here. There's so much tap dancing. Usually tap dance is something that you don't see very often in a high school musical, but there's a lot of tap dancing. It is super big and it's super fun, and I think it'll be very entertaining for everyone to watch.
Hi, I'm here with my fellow crew member.
Ella Baltz.
And can you tell me what your job is when the show is running?
So I do a lot of things during the show week. I do the mics, which is how you're able to hear everybody. I put them on people, our cast members. I do battens, which is the stuff that flies in, like the big curtains that comes up and down. I help move the set pieces with everybody else. And if there were flight, which there's not in this show, I would also do that as well.
And for this show specifically, what would you say your biggest challenge has been?
My biggest challenge is probably just finding out when everything happens, because for one of our battens, it goes up and down a lot, and sometimes it happens during a song, so I have to really pay attention to what's going on.
Okay, Tori, could you tell us a little bit about your character?
So her name's Dorothy Brock, and she's old, and she's this like eccentric, washed up dancer, but she's the star of the show they're putting on in 42nd Street.
Awesome. So do you have a favorite part in the show?
Yeah, I really like Shadow Waltz because it's just this really big, elegant number, but it's kind of ridiculous, and the score is really pretty too.
All right. And why would you suggest that people come see our show?
It's just super entertaining and big, like the set's beautiful and every realm of performance is really polished, and it's just super nice. It's a great experience.
We hope these interviews gave you a little bit more of an insight on what 42nd Street is about. It's shaping up to be a show that you don't want to miss out on.
Tickets are still available for purchase. Go to the link on screen to snag your tickets as soon as you can. Tickets will also be available at the door, but it's advised you get some online so you can secure the seats that you want.
Make sure you don't miss out on this amazing show. Back to you, Nate and Hayden.
Thanks, Amy and Connor. Everyone, make sure to buy tickets so you don't miss amazing performance by talented Freedom students. Now, let's check out the club schedule for this week.
It's important to get involved in clubs after school if you haven't already. Now, let's check in with Tyler, who met up with junior class representatives to learn more about this year's prom.
Thanks, Nate and Hayden. As most of you may know, prom is coming up. I'm going to be interviewing Bella, Abby, and Sarah, the junior officers organizing this event, to get more information. Who am I here with?
I'm Abby Plasko. I'm Bella Webb.
And I'm Sarah Echeverria.
So what can you tell us about prom this year?
So this year, prom is themed Roaring Twenties, and it's going to be at Steel Stacks.
When will it be occurring?
So it's going to be on May 24th from 6 to 10 p.m.
So how are students able to buy tickets?
So you can buy these tickets starting today at all lunches up until May 10th, and they're $90.
And is there anything else that students would need to know in order to attend prom?
You must have paid your class dues in order to buy a ticket, and if you want to take anyone else that doesn't attend Freedom, you can pick up your guest forms in 602, 212, and 101.
All right, thank you guys so much for your time. Thanks again for everyone who was interviewed. I'm sure that the event will be a great success. Juniors and seniors, don't forget to get your tickets before it's too late. Back to you, Nate and Hayden.
Thanks, Tyler. Hey, Nate, are you going to prom?
Nah, I'm too busy. Now, let's go check in with Sean for our Freedom Paid Sports Update.
Hey, Pates, and welcome back to your Freedom Pates Sports Update. I'm Sean, your host for this week. This past week, baseball beat Liberty with junior Chase Walker dusting the Canes, only allowing 3 hits and throwing 7 strikeouts, letting the Pates pull away with a 1-0 win. The boys and girls lacrosse teams also added points to the bell, winning against the Canes in dominating fashion with scores of 17-2 and 15-8. Congrats to Alex Greenberg on getting his 100th goal and 200th apple while leading the team to a victory. Now heading on to this week's sports. On Monday, boys tennis is at home for their senior day. Make sure to come out and support the boys as they take on Whitehall on the courts at 3:30. Up the hill, baseball and softball will be playing at home against Becca at 4. There will be a meet against Whitehall on the track at 3:30, while boys lacrosse plays Parkland at the turf at 5:30. On Tuesday, boys volleyball will be playing against Easton at 5. Boys lacrosse will be playing at home against Moravian Academy, while girls lacrosse travels to Moravian. Tennis goes across town to Becca to play the Golden Hawks at 3. On Wednesday, tennis will be traveling up north to East Stroudsburg to compete at 3:30. On Thursday, boys lacrosse will compete at the turf against Becca, while boys tennis travels to Moravian Academy. Volleyball will take a trip to Pocono Mountain East at 5, with both baseball and softball moving to DeSales University to play against Liberty yet again. Finally, on Friday, track and field will be competing in the Palisades Invitational, while at home baseball and softball plays DeRiff. That's all for your Freedom Paid Sports Update. Moving on to sports outside of Freedom, Griff and I will be talking to people about March Madness. Let's go to that now.
The annual March Madness tournament is coming to an end at the time of recording, and we're down to the final 4 teams in the boys and girls bracket. For the boys bracket, the final 4 teams are Purdue, UConn, Alabama, and North Carolina State. For the girls bracket, the final 4 teams are South Carolina, Iowa, UConn, and North Carolina State as well. We're gonna go around asking students and teachers what they think the final outcome will be. All right, who am I here with?
Mrs. Cortez?
Is your bracket still alive right now for March Madness?
Yes, it is.
What team are you predicting to win like the final rounds right now?
I have UConn.
All right, thank you very much.
Who am I here with?
Jose Luis Mendez Jr.
Did you do a bracket for March Madness?
Of course.
Who did you pick to win?
Chose UConn. Go all the way. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, who am I here with?
I'm Mr. Bothwell.
Did you do a bracket for March Madness?
I did.
Is your bracket still alive right now?
No.
What round did you lose in?
I don't really remember. I had North Carolina to win it all, so wherever they went out, that was the end for me. So
that's a rough loss. All right, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you for all the students and teachers that gave their input on this year's March Madness tournament. Back to you, Nate and Hayden.
Thanks, Sean and Griffin, for another incredible sports and March Madness update. Nate, who do you have winning it all?
I mean, I have Purdue beating UConn for the finals, so I'm really hoping they can pull through and get the win for me.
The countdown for the end of the year is getting slimmer. For seniors, there are only 35 days left, and there's only 43 left for underclassmen.
That's all for this week's broadcast. Before we go, make sure to follow @FHS Forum on Instagram and TikTok. Have a great week, Patriots.